If you're working on a retainer model or looking for repeat project work, it's crucial you keep your clients happy. We know it's much more expensive to acquire a new client than it is to maintain an existing client relationship. So this is a really important skill to develop. In this video, I'll outline 3 actions you can take to keep your clients working with you for longer. Hi there, welcome to First Year Freelancing. We help first year freelancers get started on their freelance journey. You're awesome at your skill. We help you with the rest you need to succeed, from marketing, sales, and client relations. So let's get into it. So the first thing to do with your clients is to set realistic expectations. If you do, as some early stage freelancers often slip into, is over-promising prospects and new clients, and obviously over time it's unlikely to be able to be sustainable to deliver on that. You're going to break down the trust, and that's when client relationships will end. However, from the start, if you've been honest and open and realistic with the expectations of the results of the service that you provide, the chances are you're going to establish a longer term client relationship, because there will be that trust there. Because when you say these are the expectations, you're going to be able to deliver on those. When you deliver on what you say you're doing, every time you're strengthening that bond, you're re-establishing that trust with the client. And over time, they're going to say, okay, this is somebody I want to work with, because they say what they're going to do and they deliver on that. If you've had a bit of a gap between where you've set the expectations and the reality of what you can actually deliver, the chances are they're going to be very frustrated. It's not going to be a good client relationship, and it's going to end prematurely. So ensure it's very tempting to do this. I know I've been there as a new freelancer, to oversell and to overhype the potential of what you can do because you feel like you want to get those deals in, but it will come back to bite you. So establish true, clear, realistic expectations, and that will set the foundation for long-term client relationships. The second point is, when you're working with a client over a long period of time, it can get a bit stagnant, it can get a bit boring. You can feel a little bit like it is kind of repeating a broken record when you're going through your reports, because of course 80% of what you do will probably be continuously the same. So what you need to do is always add some innovation to your client communications. So what I mean by that, depending on the service you're offering, if you're offering a digital marketing service, you might be doing a monthly report. So in that monthly report, at the end of the reports or sometimes throughout, add something new, add some fresh ideas, read some blogs, watch some videos, see what's going on in your space. And you could say, oh, there's an update to Instagram, there's a new feature, so we can add this to our marketing plan going forward. Potentially there's a change in the Google algorithm. It means that an opportunity for them to create some new content. There's a new social media platform, TikTok's come out. How can they leverage that? Bring some innovation to your client communications. It shows that you care about them, that you research, that you're on the cutting edge, and it keeps things fresh. If you don't do that, it's very easy for those relationships to get a bit stagnant, a bit bored, and then the client might be thinking, well, we need something fresh, we need some fresh ideas. And even though you could be doing a very good job, they decide to leave because it gets boring and stagnant. So make sure you're bringing innovative ideas regularly to your existing clients. And the third and final thing, it ties into the realistic expectations, but is also to be honest throughout your client relationships. Not everything is going to go as you planned or as you would hope. You will make mistakes, things won't go as well as you'd hoped, some campaigns may underperform, or whatever it might be. You might delay on timelines. Obviously you don't want to do any of these things, but the reality is they will crop up. And the best thing you can do is be completely honest with your clients. Some of the strongest client relationships I held for many, many years, I made a mistake in the first few months. But the reason why those relationships lasted for such a long time is I was completely honest and upfront with the client. And the key thing here is not only you're honest and upfront, is that you provide a solution. So I would say to the client, this has happened. It's not as we had hoped, it's disappointing results. I've reviewed it, and this is where I think the solution lies and what we can do with our next steps. And then crucially, I delivered on what I said I was going to do. And then I would report back and say, fantastic, we learned that lesson, things are now improved. So don't try to hide any mistakes. Again, I see this with early stage freelancers. They feel like in their reports or when they communicate with clients, you just have to give them all the good news. Everything's fantastic, this is great, month after month. And the client's going to start questioning, because everyone knows the reality is things don't always go fantastically well. So if there are any issues, be upfront and honest with them about with your clients, but also outline the next steps. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix it? Because of course they're going to be frustrated, but they can't argue. If you're honest and upfront, truthful, and say this is what I'm going to fix, how can they have a problem with that? And as I say, it will establish those really strong bonds with existing clients, so they continue to work with you for longer, because they know that if something goes wrong, you're going to tell them the truth, and they say, oh, I'd rather have that than someone who would hide anything from you. So just to recap, set realistic expectations at the start. This goes right from your sales process, but throughout the client relationship. always add some innovation, keep being fresh, bring new ideas to the table, keep that relationship exciting, and finally be honest about anything that goes wrong. Of course, share the good things, but also share any mistakes and how you're going to fix them. If you do those three things consistently alongside providing a good service and good communications, the chances are that client is highly unlikely to move elsewhere. Remember, for them, it's a real like time challenge and frustration for them to have to move their service to another freelancer. They have to build that relationship, they have to go through the sales process, get new agreements, give them all the accesses they require. So it's a real pain. So if you do those things consistently well, the chances are they're going to stay with you because it's easier for them. They want to, and everyone has a good long-term working relationship. So if you're new to client relations and you're looking to establish these long-term client relationships, I'm going to link to my playlist on client relations. I've got several videos about how to establish long-term client relationships, how to build rapport, how to make sure you have great communications with all of your clients. So do check that out if you're interested. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you on the next one.